our Uncle Bubu and also Usman, you have really been ahead of issues, and you have really did a very good work, and we commend you for that. On behalf of the farmers, once again, thank you very much to the EBA team and the Minister of Local Government, and thank you.
That includes you too among the moderating team. Thank you very much. I will now give the mic to Honorable Silla from the high table to give the last statement. From there, we will call on the project director to give the final statement before we leave. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, Eva. It's a pleasure for us also to be associated with Eva and the whole total team gathering this session today. For us, as a National Assembly member, we advocate, we approve budget, and since I was here yesterday, I have been hearing a lot from different people, like the moderator himself, the lecturers who are deliberating their speeches and their topics in the particular areas. For us here as a National Assembly member, we have a function to be done, that is our oversight function. After approving the budgets or after approving other projects, we have to make follow-ups. But what has been said since yesterday, I was here, I didn't contribute, but I was listening. I think I would also contribute, and I was waiting for this particular session so that I can also share my experience with others, though people are out, but the few who are here, I was in agriculture for almost about 30-something years, until I got retired, and now I'm a politician. So, and I am part of the Agricultural Select Committee, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Agricultural Select Committee. We do go around, do our oversight functions. But here I heard from Farmer and another guy, the most important is attitude. The attitudinal change is very important. Whatever you are doing, you have to be committed, whatever you are doing. So if I go around doing my oversight functions, I do see projects. I had one of the project coordinators here, Dr. Sanya, talking about Project B. Go back to those projects, whether they are still functioning. So whenever the project starts, everything will be given to the farmers. You see, these things, projects comes and go. But what is most important is to sustain those projects. At the end of the day, anytime other projects come, it can able to motivate or it can able to attract people so that they can able to spend their money on those projects. Because all the time, projects will come and go, but they have to be stayed within us. But it will never happen that way because of the attitude. So that is an embarrassing issue to my side while I am doing my oversight. But what is most important here is, if projects comes, let's try to maintain it, let's try to keep it. Project B has gone, other projects are coming, the other project is even here, it's going to be by end of December. So, and that also is about livestock, but I mean, you cannot see those projects to be functioning at the end of the day, you can't even monitor them. So here, as far as we are concerned, the IBA also is here. They have talked issues about the livestock and the farm. So here, if I have heard even about the grazing, people were saying grazing is about the forest land or something like that. But the grazing is also part of, it's anywhere you can able to have grasses where you can able to graze those animals is almost the same. But in our particular issues, like where I am in Nyani, okay, if you said the cattle tracking, that will only maintain during the rainy season. So how about the dry season? The cattle track will go and find his graze where he's supposed to graze. But during the dry season, where is he going to graze? Even that cattle track is there. So he has to go and search somewhere where the green land is, the green grass is. And that area would be where the rice farms are. Yeah. So at the end of it, this is why the lady who was here, he said animals will always tamper our food. Yeah. And that area is not part of grazing. That part is farmland. So you can see, there There are a lot of problems in my area, like Nyani area. Most of them only grow rice cultivation. And this rice cultivation is only dry season. And the animals don't see green grass during the dry season. Where should they go? They have to go to the field. So in that case, it's always a problem between the farmers and the livestock owners. So those things are issues which are there. Like if the chief was here, he can also attest to it. At this time of the season, if the animals are at the far end of near the border where the chief is, they'll even start their way back to the Jaminas to cross. Even if they don't have boat, even they don't have boat or canoe to cross, they'll cross for themselves just to go and search food. So you can imagine. So I think those things also, the president, you can also think about that. Because at our end, there's only a small boat normally there, and at times they only swim across the river without taking the boat. And at times, in fact, the hippos will try to threaten them so that they can able to tamper them. So the other one is not part of the livestock, but it's part of the livestock. That is the hippos. The hippos are the most pest in our area. Well, they are harbors in our area. So, but if you said that also, the wildlife will say they are part of us. So, but you can. It's not the way. It's not that way. So, and as an extension workers, I heard they were calling extension workers here. You see, we are all partners. I was in extension, but wherever I stayed or wherever I work, I leave a legacy there. This what I am saying is all part of commitment. Part of commitment, because wherever I am posted, if I live there, I always leave a legacy there. Because I'm always committed of what I am assigned to. Because at times your boss will come, and you should go around with him. But at the end of the day, if you reach to a farmer, if the moment he said it's been a while, said have already, he has already declared that you have been not coming there for a long time. So for that case, I thank you. But for us here, we are here to advocate, and we are here to be ready to assist whatever project comes so that we can stood out for it, so that we can able to defend it. But if we don't know also, we cannot do it. So in that case, I thank you all for being part of the session. My chairman has been a funeral which he has already left. This is why I'm here for him. So I thank you all for your presence.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for that statement. And then we will now... Nakala. Okay, he wants to get back to you. Okay, I will now call on PM to give us the final statement. Yeah.
Okay, well, I am going to be very brief because I can see almost all the Jalokundas are really not looking great because of they are hungry. Anyways, we have come to the end of a very important and a very valuable 2 days in the life of this project, and I sincerely hope that it will become one of those 2 days that a lot of people will remember as those days that we formulated and we came together as different stakeholders: agriculture, livestock, forestry, immigration, NARI, water resources, quite a lot, CBOs and others, quite a lot as I just go through this list of very important stakeholders who are necessary. Of course, they're saying that it takes a village to raise a child. We are now going to see how many more it takes to really make a very successful adaptation project or program work. Before I go ahead, I must first of all thank our very able lead scientist. He, just like some of us don't like to be called Dr. Lalisa Duguma, but really Lalisa and team at ICRAF or World Agroforestry have been essential since the beginning of this project. They have been the science backstopper. They have had great ideas, and they came up with really those ideas that can be easily understood and managed even at our level here. So I must say thank you very much for taking all this time away from Nairobi and spending a lot of time. Of course, he has a team, you know, and one who you will never hear his voice, but his fingers are always clicking, and that is Kennedy. You know, thank you very much for really doing a very fantastic job behind the scene. You know, of course, even at the Gambian level here, we have very key players within the ICRAF EBA group. And Dr. Ba, he has been, you know, the guy behind the scene. Alaji Ba, he has taken care of every single decision, every single meeting since the onset of this task force to organize this two-day conference or congress. We also know that he has been the key player when it comes to making sure everybody get their travel certificates, travel documents, every little thing. Really, he has been incredibly useful to this project. And of course, he has a team also with him. Now we have 2 other Gambian recruits, so making as a recruit into the government system. Apparently, you know, Dr. Sanjang was the guy. He was the one who I worked for only 1 month, really, before moving to forestry. So I still remember those valuable days, and I'm surprised he's still running around. You know, by then it was injecting Banyaka and other places, I mean, veterinary vaccination. So I learned a lot from everyone. Of course, Mr. Bojang is here for the, you know, I've always said, if I grow up, I want to be like him. Of course, I grew up in the wrong side of the world, so I cannot just be like him. But essentially, it's been good, you know, an experience. Of course, Uncle Bubu, everybody's favorite uncle, has been, I mean, part of this project since the beginning of the concept note. You know, I mean, amazing. That's very rare that since the beginning of a concept note, you be there and you become part of the implementation team all the way to the end. That's really, really rare. And of course, thank you, and we really are grateful. Again, Ministry of Environment, yes, they are not here, but I'm sure Alpha has filled their big shoe as a representative, as well as other members of the ministry. I don't want to waste so much of your time. It's time to go and eat, and some of us will be traveling back. I say thank you. In the meantime, whenever this is all finalized, our goal is to see implementation of it, and we will work with all to make sure. Again, yes, I'm told, and I'm sure, yes, slip of mind, the task force who have been at this. It's not just EBA. We have called on both NARI, the Department of Livestock, as well as Agriculture and other members, so that they can come and support the organization of this meeting, because we know from day one that we cannot do it all by ourselves. We would want to see more of that, because really that is what would make EBA. It has to be. The PMU is just, as we are named, we are just what? We are just a management unit. We are just there to make sure all the moving parts move and they are oiled and everything is done so that they can really move as they should. So thank you, Honorable MP. It is also important that you are at this table, because when we come to you, maybe a year or so from now, it will be very easy to remind you that this is part of, or that is part of this day, or this last 2 days' work, because that's really important in this jigsaw. Every single component has to be really managed. Once again, thank you, and I must say thanks for a good EBA team. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. PD? Declare close. You forgot to mention that. You can declare close.
That's our job.
Speak after my boss. I should not speak after my boss.
All right, somebody is saying, I must say, all right, and I now declare this meeting
closed. Thank you.